Well, what happened? And I did not think it was going to happen. As of yesterday, Elon Musk is now the full owner of Twitter. He now owns Twitter. He has the keys to the kingdom. Sorry, I've not uploaded on the second channel in a little while. Wife got the coof. She's over it now. She felt crap for a couple of days and then she was absolutely fine. You know, it's just the way things go. However, for the entire like 10-day isolation, I essentially had to be a single dad. And yeah, last night was the first night in 10 days where I managed to get a full 8 hours because I had to do everything. It was great, but it's over now. But anyway, and this is a massive white pill. For I believe it was $43 billion. Elon Musk is now the owner of Twitter, and Elon Musk claims, I'm not going to say for a fact, but he claims that he is a huge supporter and proponent of freedom of speech, and he understands its importance in a civilized society. And that is the part that excites me the most about all of this. And I'm just going to try and I'm going to forget so much stuff, but there's a lot of shit that I want to cover. Basically, when he first made his offer, Twitter rejected it because they did the poison pill thing because it was a hostile takeover, as the media were calling it. But whenever someone says, I would like to buy your company, and then the company goes, no, it's not a hostile takeover. That's not how hostile takeovers work. If you're able to reject the offer, it's not a hostile takeover. However, a few days passed, and then it seemed that Twitter was actually considering selling to Elon Musk, and we have a few theories as to why that might be. I believe, okay, I don't have any evidence for this whatsoever, but I'm going to say it anyway. I believe that there were some things that Twitter had to get rid of before they handed over the keys. There was a few bodies that needed removed from the basement. Some certain algorithms, some certain little bits of code. Some particular tools. Things that may but not necessarily suppress, ghost ban, accounts, things like that, or things that may possibly have manipulated information, in a political sense. Maybe that's what it was. You know how like whenever an embassy is under siege and they're about to do a pullout, they drag all the important documents down to the basement, throw them in the furnace, and then get on the helicopter. Maybe it was something like that. Maybe it was. What evidence do I have of that? None. However, I'm just saying it is a possibility. And this was the statement that Elon Musk made. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, which is true. Not a fan of democracy. However, that's true. Free speech, if you want democracy, you must have freedom of speech because democracy is making an informed vote, right? You are casting your vote in a democracy so that you can get the ruler of your choosing. However, if one of the, possible candidates or several of the candidates are not actually able to speak and convey their arguments, then that's not democracy. That's guided democracy. Kind of like what they do in North Korea, where, oh yeah, we have an election every year. It's just weird that there's only one candidate. Oh, like that type of shit. Except in this case, only one candidate is allowed to speak. And if everyone was allowed to speak, then they might take voters away from that candidate, and we can't have that, can we? Not in a democracy. So basically, if you want to have democracy, you must also have freedom of speech. If you do not have freedom of speech, then you do not have democracy, right? So if you are anti-free speech, you are anti-democracy in the bad way. And Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, said Mr. Musk. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Now, that's the part that left some people a little bit concerned. What does he mean by this? And apparently, people were posting things that Musk said in the past. Everyone's like, oh, is it going to be phone numbers? And Musk replied with something along the lines of, you can spoof a phone number. I mean, you can. I can go down to the shop just down the road and I can buy like 10 different SIM cards for like £2 each, right? It's easy to spoof a phone number. As for ID, I mean, ID systems would be a logistical nightmare. I think If he means human verification for verified accounts, or if an account grows to a certain size, then maybe. Maybe, however, I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the community, with the company, and the community of users to unlock it. And another thing that he said as well is that obviously all the usual suspects are screaming and screeching, going, "Oh, Twitter's going to become a haven for hate speech and misinformation, and we're all going to get banned and we're going to get suppressed and blah blah blah." And then Musk said right here, "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means." Yes. Yes, that's completely correct. That is absolutely true. Yep. Free speech is when you allow someone you don't like to say something that you don't like. If you are against that, then you're against freedom of speech. And that's when people usually come in with, "Well, what about hate speech? What about that?" And all that other crap, right? Yes, even that. Even that. If someone wants to say the N word, or if someone wants to question a certain president's son's laptop, or if someone wants to, for example, preach communism or socialism or any of those things, it doesn't matter whether or not you like it or not, it doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not, that person has a right to say that. If you didn't like what the person said, then you can use your own speech to counter it. That whole thing that became a meme, the free marketplace of ideas, the things that lefties very often say doesn't work because their ideas always get defeated in the free marketplace of ideas. It's like saying, "I keep getting beaten up in boxing matches. Boxing doesn't work." Like, yeah, right. Basically, in the free marketplace of ideas, if everyone is able to talk and say exactly what they want and say, debate different ideas, then the best ideas rise up to the top, and those are the ones very often most adopted by society. So it's a system that does, in fact, work. For example, the democracy. Guess how democracy started? Because we had freedom of speech, and it got proposed, and people went, maybe this would be a good way to do things. It's not. But however, I'm just trying to appeal to people who enjoy democracy. The reason that you have democracy, in fact, human rights as a whole, guess how we got those? Through freedom of speech. And it's that old saying that freedom of speech is the right on which all other rights are built. If you want to say, "I want to campaign for the workers," cool. With freedom of speech, you can do that. Or, "I want to call the Tories a bunch of cunts," cool. With freedom of speech, you can do that. Right? It doesn't matter the value of the speech. You can assign different values to certain types of speech. For example, if someone makes a top 10 no-scope headshots in Call of Duty video, and a doctor makes a top 10 ways to lower your cholesterol video, we can all agree that the most valuable speech in that situation is the doctor. They both have equal right to say and make such videos, but the doctor is the one clearly with the most valuable speech. However, it will definitely be the COD video that gets more views, which this says a lot about society. Now, another thing that is occurring as well is everyone's like, I'm leaving Twitter. I'm going to delete my account. I'm gone." Oh no. Oh no, how terrible. That's awful. No, wait, please, please don't go. How awful. And some of the people that are doing it are some of like people for CNN and Democrat governors and like all this type of crap. And it's like, "I'm leaving. You will never see my tweets again." How awful. How awful. I wish you the best of luck. Why don't you go to Parler? Why don't you go to Gab? Gab will take you. Yeah, you can go to Gab. Yeah, have Gab, have Parler, and we can have Twitter. Because Twitter is the online town square. And look, I am excited about Musk taking charge. I am excited. However, will he make it better? Will it become a better platform for freedom of speech? Who knows? However, people are coming back. People are coming back. Apparently, Tommy Robinson has already made an account. Tommy Robinson has already made an account. The amount of people that I really want them to come back. Number one, Alex Jones. Oh, Alex Jones on Twitter. Fucking absolutely, I want him back. Carpe Donktum, I want Carpe Donktum fucking back. I want the National Pulse to fucking come back. Oh fuck, who else? There's so many people. Like I feel like I'm touching the Vietnam War Memorial. Like that with all the names and crying. Who else? Sargon. We could get Sargon back as well. Milo could come back. There are so many people that can come back now. And the thing is, when these people come back, oh, it's going to be a fucking shitstorm. And that is why I want them back. Mainly for the freedom of speech aspect, because whether you like it or not, yes, Twitter has become the fucking town square. It has, right? Private companies can do what they want and all that. Yep, that's fine. However, that private company was immoral. Yep, it didn't have any legal obligation to be moral. However, it was acting immorally, right? It wasn't letting everyone have a free, have free freedom of speech on a platform where the idea is to communicate. So Elon Musk has bought it and seeks to change that. A private company is now doing what it wants. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again because that is all I have heard for the last 5 fucking years. Right, so all the banned accounts are most likely going to come back. What types of speech are going to be allowed now? I'm not sure. Maybe you will be allowed to question the efficiency of particular health remedies that are being pushed. Maybe you will be able to post information about a certain laptop that no one was allowed to talk about. Maybe you will be allowed to post about certain origins of a certain thing that's going around now that my wife just had, because maybe it came from somewhere where people wear white coats, and you'll be able to say that now. Remember all those things that got people banned in the past that ended up being true? Remember all that? Yep, you most likely will be allowed to do all of that now. And none of this like permanently banned for misgendering fucking pish either. And people might say, "Oh, but people are going to get harassed. Absolutely terrible things are going to happen." Here's what you do, right? And this isn't anything new. This has been around for a little while. On Twitter, there is a block button and a mute button. And also, if you go into your settings, you can actually put in muted words. If there's certain phrases or terms that you don't want to see or hear, you can fill them in this little box, and that's it. You will not get any of that in your feed anymore. Basically, you have been handed all the tools, and you've had them for years. You've had them for years. You have been handed all the tools to construct your online experience as you see fit. You've had these tools. You've had them for years. Like, I don't like it when someone calls me a tranny or the F slur, or I don't like it when everyone says a racial slur. I don't, or as a journalist, you could say I don't like it when people tell me to learn to code and all that type of stuff. That's fine. You can fix that. Just go in and mute the words, block the accounts, all that stuff. That's something that you can do. You can, in fact, do that. Why haven't you been? Nope, you want a larger institution to do it for you on your behalf, which is something that you notice a trend with among, that lot. No, 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 I shouldn't do it. Responsibility. No, someone else should do it for me. Well, no, sorry, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. If you don't like these terms, that's fine. It's not up to me what you do or do not like. People can still say these terms, post these things, tweet these things, etc., etc. If you don't like it, you can block, you can walk away from the computer, or you can put it into your muted words list. There you go. Problem solved. You're absolutely fine now. And see all this, but what about harassment? What about pylons and all that type of stuff? What, like you all do? Like all the fucking time? Ah, but it's okay when we do it. Okay. It's okay when we do it too. Things are about to get really interesting. Things are about to get very, very interesting. But one of the things that blew my mind that I did not expect, right? When Musk made the offer about Twitter, I was like shit posting online and I was making loads of jokes and loads of memes and all that type of stuff as well. But one of the things that like really, really got me was I said this will never be allowed to happen. This will never be allowed to happen. The cathedral, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, will not allow this sale to go through. And the primary reason that I thought that is because one thing that websites like Twitter are very good at is shaping the public consciousness. That is why the censorship is introduced. That's why suppression is introduced. For example, remember how my little quote I made earlier about I believe that certain algorithms and suppression tools were deleted off the servers so that, before they left the building. Shit tons of conservatives or right wing accounts are getting a massive boost in subs. Huge boost. I get a massive boost. Fucking everyone is getting a massive boost. Whereas a lot of left wing accounts actually lost lots and lots of followers. So maybe that was just bots getting removed. Who knows? Maybe the conservatives getting lots and lots of followers were people making new accounts and coming back to the site. Or maybe it's because these accounts are not being suppressed as much. Maybe that's it. Maybe that was it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. I have no proof. I'm saying it anyway. Uh, and one of the things that, going back to what I was talking about, is see, as far as Elon Musk being able to buy Twitter, I did not believe it would happen because I believed that the power of Twitter to shape the public consciousness with its censorship and everything, with the massive bias against the right wing, where the right weren't allowed to say certain things or make certain arguments or do or say certain things and get suppressed and ghost banned and blah blah blah, which means the average normie logging onto Twitter is most likely going to see all the left wing stuff first and choose that as their side, therefore winning them the votes and everything. You know, the power of Twitter to do that, I believe, was far too fucking massive to let it fall into the hands of this guy, even for $44 billion. Which is why I was like, yeah, this is never going to happen. But it did, right? Which is why, goddamn. And the fact is that now, in one of the biggest, online marketplaces of ideas, ideas will now be able to compete on a level playing field. Which that hasn't been the case for quite some time, has it? Holy shit, we might actually have a fighting fucking chance. Now, now that things will be fair. We were doing pretty well anyway we were doing pretty well anyway, with our fucking with fucking horseshoes strapped around our fucking ankles. Imagine what we'll be able to do when it's fucking fair. So yeah, this is a big white pill moment for me. This is a huge white pill moment. Like, a huge online marketplace of speech and ideas is now in the hands of someone who claims to love freedom of speech and want to change the platform for the better down the freedom of speech route. That makes me very excited, right? Hopefully that is what happens. I'm not going to go like that. Oh, I love you, Big Daddy Musk, and like all this other type of stuff, right? I'm going to wait and see if he wants to make the platform like a better, space for freedom of speech and the discussion of ideas. Superb, fantastic. I hope he is successful in his endeavor, but he might do a lot of silly and stupid things as well. We don't know yet. We've absolutely no idea. It remains to be seen. However, I am very, very excited. And the salt on Twitter, we are going to have lots and lots of potassium chloride for days. Or is it sodium chloride? Who gives a fucking shit anymore? Even if it's misinformation, I can post it. But everyone prepare for very interesting times.